Welcome to Kollecting Kaos. My name is James, and today we're going to work on, let's see, part 7. Part 7 of my Cisco Kid number 15 from 1953 project. I'm going to go ahead and show you this first, and then we'll go into the introduction. So here is my latest attempt of getting a matched color, or a color that would work for the insides of the comics. Now you got to remember, I did 8, 7, 6, 5, 8 again, and then 4. So I've had 6 different variations. This is the 7th variation. How well is it going to match up? That's the question. Find out right after this. So let's check the match. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to pull out this one. Not bad. Reasonably close. I'm kind of happy with that. So let's take a look at page number 3 and see how that turned out. The one that I just showed and matched it against was page number 4. So let's go ahead and take a look. And see how it turned out. It's still a long way from perfect, but you know what? I'm happy with it. It's close enough for me. I'm not trying to be an expert. But I think that's good enough. I think that's close enough. I do need to press this a little more. What you might not have noticed on a lot of these, I have a little pencil mark in the upper right hand corner. That tells me which side of the wrap faces the centerfold, or the interior of the comic. So the side with the little mark faces the interior, and the side without the mark faces the exterior. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little more pressing on this one, and then we'll get started on page number 2. The page number 2 is going to be a little different because I've changed up the way I'm doing it, and I'm going to show you the process. I've kind of eliminated a step, but I've added a step. Does that make sense? No, of course not. Why would it make sense? See you in a few minutes with page number 2. Alright, here it is, page number 2. I decided to show it like this first so I could point out a few things. Number 1 is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to very lightly mark over here, just like that. And that will tell me that this is the inside that goes towards the centerfold. And this side goes towards the cover. Now this one has a pretty big hole, so that's not going to be the easiest in the world. And of course, we're going to lose a little tiny bit of the ink and of the there's nothing I can do about that. That's just, it's the way it is. But if you also notice, there's a wet stain up here. There's some tide marks over here, and there's some tide marks here. And we're going to try to get rid of some of those as best we can. We're not going to be able to get rid of them completely, but maybe we can lessen them. You can see it a little better here, and this paper is a little stiff, so that's not necessarily a good thing. So I'm going to take it over the sink. We're going to use my phone again. I know people are going, no, not the phone. You're terrible with your phone. Yes, I know. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it over to the sink. We're going to put it, and we're going to use the phone. And I'm going to show you the way I'm going to process this one. It's a little bit different from before, but not that different. So let's move over there. So I said I made some changes. So what kind of changes did I make? The first change was how I apply the soap. I have a piece of Kollecting and then the comic. And rather than putting another piece of Kollecting on there first, I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and spray the left-hand side, and then pull it slightly downward so that it actually flattens out a little bit. And then I'll spray the rest. Well, obviously that's not that big a change, but actually it is. I was having trouble with the center being the way I wanted it to. Now I take another piece of Kollecting, which, if I can find it, there we go. And I'll set that off over it. And I'll use my squeegee on it just to flatten it out. And then we'll spray some soap on it. Squeegee a little bit more because we got some wrinkles there. I may have to turn it over to get rid of those wrinkles. So that's what we'll do. We'll turn it over. Take both pieces, flip it, and now I should be able to get rid of these wrinkles. And if it doesn't, then I'll have to do something else. Okay, I'm going to have to raise this up and smooth out the wrinkles by using my fingers, or possibly even raising the paper itself up. Now I know wet paper, of course, is weak paper. We all know that. But I need this to be flat. There we go. So the rest of it just requires me putting soap on it and squeegeeing around. I want a nice thick layer of soap. And what we're going to do is we'll just back and forth. And if you take a look off to the side here, oops, you can see some of that discoloration coming off. I'm going to flip it again. Spray it down the soap again. Oh, it's not just soap. I mean, it's soap mixed with water, of course. Now some of what's coming off is actually some of those stains that I showed earlier. There was stains in here, stains along the side. I can still see some of them, the ones there. I'm going to spray it one more time. And then I'm going to let it sit for about 10-15 minutes. It's been about 15 minutes, and I went ahead and I squeegeed both sides. But now comes the part where I said I got rid of something, but I added something. And you saw the part that I got rid of was using the tub initially. So now for the part that I'm adding. And please excuse my sink, I need to clean it. Yeah, I made coffee this morning and I had to clean out the... Yeah, we'll clean that up later today. Now what I'm going to do is I laid that down. I'm going to set this here, just like that. We'll turn on the water. I'm just going to use cold water. I don't need to use hot water for this. And I'm just going to rinse it out. And I know people are screaming and hollering, you can't do that. You can't use tap water. And yeah, you can. And yeah, I've been doing it that way for many, many years. I've been using on tap water on comic books probably since the mid to late 80s. I mean, I don't know everything. And I'm not the best there is when it comes to conservation, and definitely not the best when it comes to doing leaf casting and or spot casting. But I know what works for me, and that's what I'm showing. That should have gotten most of the soap out, so we'll turn it off. And I'm going to put it back on my whiteboard, and I'm going to squeegee it off. I don't need to show you that part. I've shown it to you enough. And then I'll go to the next step. So what's the next step? The calcium hydroxide bath. And I went ahead and put it in there. I went ahead and put the calcium hydroxide, and I just dropped that in. And as you can see, I'm just using my hand to drop it down. And once it's all the way in, I get most of the air bubbles out from under it. It'll just sink down there nicely, and I'll give it a bath. And I'm going to let it sit in there for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes before I take it out and do what I'm going to do next. Well, it's been about 15 or 20 minutes. I was watching the short video, so I'm not sure exactly how long it was. We're going to take this and lay it flat on here. And I'm just going to drain my water. Put this off to the side real quick. I wanted to, yeah, chaos. I keep telling you people it's Kollecting Kaos. You won't believe me. So it looks organized. No, it isn't. I'm trying to get it straightened up, but I don't have as much room as I used to. So we're going to start squeegeeing out the excess. And this part, I don't want you to miss any of it. But when I go to turn it over, I think I'm going to shut the video off and start it again after I get it turned over, because I really need to use two hands on part of this. going to do is I hope this is on the right side. I couldn't find my pencil mark, but I think this is right. Get a little more water out of there. And next, get my methyl cellulose. Now I don't do that. Got to get the bottle open. I took the top off. I didn't get the bottle open. I don't cover the whole thing with methyl cellulose. I probably should, but I don't. What I do is I paint around the edge to get a good good adhesion from the paper pulp. And then I've already got this done. This is a 60 milliliter syringe that I use. We're just going to ease some of it on there. I think that'll be enough. It was actually quite a bit. And yeah, I'm using my fingers to flatten it out a little bit. Let me grab an old paper towel here. I'm just going to soak up some of the excess moisture. Next, we will put this back down gently. And now the part that might surprise some of you. I'm actually squeegeeing over where I filled it. And that'll help it to flatten out a little better. To flip it over. I don't have to flip it over, but I'm going to. I sure hope I got that on the right side. I'd hate to have to redo this. Okay, I'm going to put paper towels over it. Then I'm going to put my Teflon sheet. And then I'm going to flip it over, put paper towels on it, and another Teflon sheet. So I'll be right back. This is a view of my cold press that I use. And I have my comic here in between. I'm going to slide it in. And I will slide a second piece over it. And then we're going to crank it around. Now this press is made by Vevor. You don't have to have this type of press. I would actually prefer a really old one, but I don't have a really old one, so I use this one instead. And I'm cranking it down as hard as I can because I want to press it as flat as possible. And that ought to do it. That's that part. We'll come back when it's ready. So the question is, how did it turn out? How did my wrap number 2 turn out? Let's take a look. I just took this out of the press. I haven't looked at it. So it's going to be a surprise to me and to you. Now I have been considering getting a plastic sheet to put here instead of using my Teflon sheets. Again, stealing an idea from Jerry the Jitterbug. If you haven't checked out his channel, you should. And, so far, it's looking pretty good. There you go. Very happy. You can see the slight difference between the fill or the and the regular comic. The fill being the pulp that I used. There's a very slight difference in the coloration, and that's fine. I'm really happy with it from what I can see right now. Let's look at the other side of the page. Yeah, on this side it's a little more, you can see it a little more dramatically, but yeah, I'm happy with that. It is very, very supple. This is a little stiff, but that's okay. That's to be expected. Really happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and continue. I'll do wrap number 1. Not going to show you that process because it'll be the exact same process that I used for wrap number 2. And like I said, I'm not going to show you that. I'm just going to show you the results. Now, as far as the staining, you can still see a little bit of a water stain here. You can still see some here. So I didn't get the staining out completely, but I did get it lessened. It's less. I think if I had gone over it a little bit more with the soap and the water and the squeegee, I might have been able to get that out. But I'm really happy with it as it is. So, yeah. On to wrap number 1. It's time to take a look at wrap number 1. And then the fun begins. The next episode, the fun begins. Let's see. Alright. I like it. I think it's adequate. Some of the stain is gone from here. It's a lot lighter than what it was. I'm happy with it. The stain up here I couldn't do anything about. That wouldn't come out. Or not in the method I used. I could use some blue light on it. It would probably take it out, but I really don't like using blue light. It's just me. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just me. Now, I did not fill this part down here. I probably should have, but it doesn't really matter because it's the first wrap. This is the side that I filled it on. And I did that because it folds like this, and the reason I did that was so that you would see less of the wrap fill here. Now, I do need to try to get some of that excess fill off, and I think I might do that. I might go through and try to do that all the pages at one time. Maybe I'll do that on the next video. And then, because I really don't want to start that cover. That cover is going to be hard. So there we go. Wraps 1 through 8 are done. Well, for now, until I decide what I want to do about this excess. So that's it for this video. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, come see me tonight on my live stream. where I still am under the impression that I'm going to be showing my gold key Tarzans. I could still change my mind between now and then, but as of right now, I still plan on showing my gold key for Tarzan. So there you go. I missed a spot. I got a little hole right there. I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah. Stop by, see me tonight, 8 o'clock Central. And I have a good time. You know, I show off some comics. I'm going to show some things that I've pressed over the last week. And I'll show some other comics. Maybe I will have gotten something new. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do between now and the time that I'm filming this and Wednesday night. We'll find out Wednesday night. You'll find out when I find out. So in the meantime, have yourself a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye. There it is.